Okay, so the first two questions were just solving for x regularly. So it gave us this equation and it also gave us this one. So what I did first was plug into Desmos at the top, right? And then graph it. And it gave me, wait, let me turn off this one. And it gave me a 4, right? So that's where I got 4 from. Okay, then I solved it with, by moving this over here, moving this across the equal sign, 3x equals 81, right? And 3 to the 4th power is 81, right? So that's 4, pretty easy, right? I also just put in decimals, 3, 4, and I got 81, so yeah. Number 2, do the same thing pretty much. 3 over the 3, and then this on the other side. 3 over 3 equals 80x, right? 3 over 3, and then I divide by 80 to get x by itself, and 3 to the 3rd power is 27. 27 divided by 80 is x. And I know you're supposed to round, but I forgot what you're supposed to round it to, so just read it on the test. Right, equals x. And then number 3 was a little bit different. We got this one, this equation, this formula, and this formula, and we were supposed to compare them. So I compared them in Desmos. Turn off this one. This was for number 2. Right. And we were supposed to compare these two equations. And we got this, right? And we're supposed to compare them in words. Right. So I said that, here, look. This purple one is g of x, right? And this one is the f of x one. So f of x green, g of x purple. So I said that, it said that it went down 4, and you could tell by this number, right? See, if we like changed it to 0, it would go back up, right? But it's 4, so it goes down 4, right? And this one makes it go left 3 units. See, if we turn it to 0, it goes back. If we turn it back 3, it goes back left 3. So I said that it moves down 4, it moves left 3 units. Okay, and that was question A. For question B, it was just to graph it, and yeah, we just graphed the purple line. I got the points by just looking at these, that point and that point. Yeah. And then question C was the domain, and the domain is from left to right, so -3, and you see how it stops at -3 here. It doesn't go past -3, right? So that's what's it called, the asymptote. So it never goes past there. So 3, right? Never goes past 3. And since it never touches 3, it's going to be a parentheses, right? And it goes on infinity, right? So infinity, parentheses again, right? Domain is just left to right, left to right, all right? And then we went on to number 4, which is condensing this big equation, right? And I plugged it into Desmos. This one I plugged into Desmos, and I got this graph. Okay. And then I condensed it first by moving this number to the exponents on all of them, right? ln 3x, y 3, right? Make sure if there's 2 and 1 that you put it on both of them, right? This one's easy, 2 over y, then 2 over z, right? And then since we got this plus sign, and all these are the same, we could condense it down to 1, right? This whole thing is all this plus y2 minus z2. So since it's minus, it's going to be at the bottom, z2, right? Then we could distribute this 3 here, right, to both of them. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 1 is 3. So x9, z, or y3, y2 from over here, z2, right? But since these are like terms, we could actually just add the exponents to y5, right? And we get this. And I plug that into Desmos as well, right? And I got the same line here. You don't really have to worry about the negative side, right? It doesn't really matter, but you just notice that these is all the same, the positive side. Okay, then number 6 or 5, yeah, 5. We were supposed to expand this equation, right? Same thing, plug it into Desmos. Let me turn this one off. This one off. Plug into Desmos, and I get this. Boom. And you don't look at the negative side. So just look at the positive side. And then, yeah. Remember that the square root sign is just the power of 1/2. Right? The power of 1/2 is the square root sign. So 1/2, but since it's square root in the whole equation, make sure that you put parentheses so it's squaring the whole equation, right? And you can move it to the front. Log 1/2 log 8xy. Right, then you expand it. Don't worry about the -2. So log x, or 8 plus log x, right, minus log y, right? Since there's no adding or subtraction sign here, you separate them, okay? And then, yeah. And then we could distribute the 1/2 to each one of them, right? 1/2 log 8 plus 1/2 log x minus 1/2 log y, right? And then you could plug into Desmos, the same equation, boom, and see how the purple line matches exactly with the positive red side. All right. Next question was number 6. This one's really easy. You just had to solve for x again. E2x equals 80. You could ln both sides. ln, cancel the e. 2x equals ln 80 divided by 2. Yeah. And then x equals this one, which was over here, the original problem, and then x equals ln 80 divided by 2, 2.19, which is also the same up and down, right? Then you had to round. I forgot what you're supposed to round to. I'm pretty sure it's hundreds, but I'm not sure, so make sure you read the question, right? 8 there. For 7, okay, for 7, we're supposed to look for x for this equation, 2 2 ln 3 4x minus 3 equals 12. Right, I plugged into Desmos. And then you have to kind of pull back a bit, but it's right here, 100. Right, then solve it. You could divide by 2 on this side, 6. ln 4x minus 3 equals x. Right, and then remember ln equals just log e. Right, so you could just do the same thing. Remember, e or 6 over e, and then that, move it to the other side. E6 equals 4x minus 3 plus 3 on both sides. Right, divide by 4. Get this number, and it simplifies to 10161. About, make sure to round again. Right, this one, E6 plus 3 divided by 4, 101. Right, and it matches up directly with the previous original line. Yeah. Right, for number 8, you solve for x again. This one's way easier. 8 equals 4x minus 2. Add 2 on both sides. 10 equals 4x. Log both sides. Log 10 equals log 4x. Move x to the front. Divide by log 4. Log 4. And this is what you're left with. Log 10 divided by log 4. Which is down here. This is the original. This is the new. And they're both, let me zoom in. They're both on the same line. Right, so yeah, 1.66. Make sure to round. And then these are the two bigger equations. These are the word problems. The word problems, you should remember this. There was an equation, but I didn't write it down. But it was final, the final amount equals initial amount, e to the power of the percent times time. Right, and the first question, I remember, it was your population increasing by 5%. Right, and 5% as a decimal is 0.05. Make sure it's in a decimal form. Right, and then you could just solve for t, because we're trying to find how much time to double the population, and doubling the initial to the final, which was 6,000. Right, solve for t, divide by 3,000, which is just 2. E 0.05 times t. Right, you could ln e both sides, get rid of the e. ln 2, keep these, divide by 0.05, and then you get this, which you could round to about 14 years. This was the equation. This was the original one, which was over there, at about 14 years. 14 years. Yeah. This one is pretty much the same thing. Final equals initial, e percent time. And this one was increasing by 3%. So 3% is 0.03. Right? And just solve for t again. 4,000, both sides. E, you could log both sides again. Alright. And then ln 3 divided by 0.03. And just put it in Desmos again. and you should get about 6.7. Where's my mouse? Okay, there's 6.7 over there. And remember, if you want to just find the gradient, you could set it equal to x. And there it is on the exact same line again. Yep, about 7 years. That's the whole test.